Alrighty, traders, welcome to our market recap and trading recap for Wednesday, August 2nd, 2023. Let's start off taking a quick look at the markets and see what happened today. And yeah, we had a wild and woolly day today after the U.S. Was downgraded to a AA plus rating, I believe. From AAA, and got everybody up in arms over that, even though I don't really think Fitch, that rating really holds a whole lot of water on this, but certainly got everybody excited and certainly gave the bears a little bit of a reason to get involved, and it gave the bulls a reason to take some profits. And I really think that's what happened a lot today. So what happened overall? Let's take a look at SPY. If we're taking a look at SPY, we dropped decently on the day, down 6.35 or 1.4%. Again, some people, I think for some, it felt like it was dropping 10% today, but just a slight drop. If we look over here on the daily chart, we came right back to the 21 EMA. So that's the first line of defense. Let's see if we hold around this 21 and maybe bounce off of it, or with the PSAR reversal signal today, do we head lower and maybe find some support around, I don't know, 44.44 or somewhere around the uptrend line. They're all going to be about the same, but you're right in the middle of the Bollinger Band. So perfect place to play some trades. And I don't see a big giant reason to get too nervous at this point in time. Looking at the weekly charts here, pulling back, we did not reverse on PSAR, so we're still in a bullish mode. MACD dropped, RSI dropped on the day, both the daily and the weekly, all good. We could use a little bit of a pullback here. On the Qs, same type of thing. Qs pulled back 2.2% on the day. And if we take a look at the weeklies, pulling back close to that bullish PSAR reversal signal could give us a bearish move. We got a little bit of support up in here around the 372, 373 range. If I extend this out a little farther, you can see that's pretty much where we came down for the day, finished just above it. So some support here. Does that mean we aren't going to break it? No, we did break the 21 EMA, so we'll look next to the bottom of this Bollinger Band and the 50 EMA as the next area. If we can't hold this support line here, we may come down into these areas down in here. So next will be 363 on the Qs. MACD has been rolling over for weeks now. RSI has been slowly weakening, finally dipping below overbought territory, and RSI heading significantly lower on the daily. So the Qs coming back. Again, I don't think, if you're looking at this weekly, and we even get a little closer, I think this 348, this 21 EMA is really where we want to be looking for some kind of a pullback. So I think if you are paying any attention and you want to, look at things here, I'm going to wait for a little bit further pullback to this, maybe this 385 range. And yeah, I'm sorry, did I say 385? 348 range in here, 350, somewhere in that neighborhood down in here. So let's see if this 50 EMA is maybe that area that holds. But I think there's nothing wrong with pulling back here and then making another leg higher. We've only gone straight up for months at a time here. Looking at the IWM, we continue to trade inside of this weekly range that we've been in. We got to the top of it today. We made a move. We finished off the highs of the day. So we finished lower on the day by 1.4%. However, you did make highs all the way up to this mark up here. So we'll keep an eye and see if this continues to be an area of resistance. And, again, do you want to pull back on the weeklies to the 21 EMA? That's going to be about 185 or so, which is also the 200 on the daily. But you got to cut through the 21, the 50, all the way to get to the 200 EMAs. So a lot of spaces here We did get a PSR reversal on IWM, but a lot of room to drop and a lot of resist or support levels here. We're going to have to cut through to get into that. So let's take a quick look at some other big moving pieces on the day. Oil had a pretty good down day during the day today, dropping from a high of about 82 all the way down to about 79. So pretty good drop in oil, almost 3 points on the day. Good MACD reversal, RSI dropping. Still stayed bullish, and it is down a fraction or maybe up a fraction here in after hours trading right now. We'll see if oil continues to hold up here. We saw a pretty good move today. If we were looking at it, I think I posted something in the Discord channel today on oil that was shared by Haroon. But he did manage to point out, and I'm going to see if I can grab it here quickly. But when we looked at I think it was inventories today, crude oil inventories dropped almost 17 million barrels in today's reading. So huge drop in inventory, yet, crude oil is down on the day. You would think that that would be bullish news. I think it's all due to the downgrade, and I think we'll see oil continue to move higher over the short term here. We've already got a move started. We've got 2 weeks of PSR bullish. You've got MACD rising. You got RSI rising over the last several weeks. Sure, a great little pullback here. I mean, even if we pull back to the 21 or 200 EMAs around 77, be perfect, and then a move higher. So I like the pullback in oil. I think that was good. If we're looking at gold, gold today did have another daily down move here, but we closed right at the 21 and and above the 50 EMA. No PSR bearish signals. MACD is falling. RSI is falling on the daily and the weeklies. Got a little bit of weakness. I'm sorry, on the dailies. On the weeklies, though, MACD has been reversing higher. RSI has been moving higher. This is all good overall look to gold. If the markets continue to drop off, then I think you're going to see some flight to safety in gold. So we'll keep an eye on that. Now, bonds were the bigger story today, I think, when we take a look at what's been happening in bonds. A pretty hefty down day on Tuesday, and then again today on Wednesday, another pretty good down day, and bonds dropping a little bit in after hours tonight as well. So you've got this channel that we've been in bonds where we've been touch the channel, touch the top, touch the bottom, touch the top, touch the bottom, touch the top. And if we extend this lines on down a bit further, then maybe we're looking at the 121-ish mark or something like that. We'll see if bonds hold up. The dollar as a whole today had a pretty good, pretty decent update, and ended up really unchanged, but it gapped up and stayed there for the day. I shouldn't say unchanged, but it gapped up and stayed there, up a little bit in after hours. So the dollar strengthening a bit, which is weakening some of the trades here in the British pound and in the Aussie dollar. Aussie dollar getting very close to this trend line again, and getting close to oversold, but not there yet on the RSI, while MACD is falling sharply. So Aussie dollar down toward the bottom of its range. I think you've got good opportunities here to see if we, do we bounce or do we head lower? We're not far off the 3 ATR, which is not far from this uptrend line. So we'll see if this triangle continues to hold in there on that. I'm not going to go through a lot of different areas. Energy, we kept an eye on today. Was down just a fraction on the day, 1.3%, not the same as technicals, which were down about 2.5% and 2.2% on the Qs. Energy, has had a really great run, pulling back. If it comes back to the 21 EMA here, nothing wrong with that. And look for the next leg higher on energy. If we look at oil, we know oil took a pretty good little hit today. So we'll keep an eye on oil. But again, so overextended, pulling back to the 21 EMA is totally fine. I think you've got to be prudent here. You've got to watch the daily. Do we pull back to these 21 EMAs? Only then am I really going to start to make some decisions. I am not making any moves, short or long, that are outside of my normal strategies, because is it just a pullback to the 21? Now, if we start breaking the 21s or the 50s or something, all right, now we've got some areas of concern, but otherwise it's just a pullback, and I'm going to wait for the pullback, and then maybe we'll look to get long some more leaps out there. I think you're getting a gift right here, potentially, to get long. If we look at Amazon on the weekly, pulled back to the uptrend line, may have even broken it a tad today. We'll see what happens to Amazon tomorrow. We are up a tad in the pre-market overnight here, but a good down day in Amazon, breaking the 21 EMA, coming down to the 50. So we're going to see if this 50 holds, and if this bearish trend starts to take hold, how far down does Amazon sell before we get long again? So we'll keep an eye on that. Apple had a down day today. We're going to get earnings tomorrow after the close. Down day on Apple, PSR reversal, RSI dropping under 50, MACD dropping. So a little bit of a bearish move. It's at the 21 EMA. I would expect that may or may not hold tomorrow. Let's see what happens to earnings. Obviously, you wouldn't make any moves in that. So there's where a lot of things stand. I am really watching a few stocks right now. I am watching Disney because I think Disney is a really good potential mover to get something going in Disney here. Had a good down day today, dropped 3% on the day. Disney's been very weak, but I think you're at this support line down here around 85. We're going to see if that holds. Will this hold up on the weekly? If we break it, all bets are off. I'm not going to do anything till I see us break this trend line that we're in. But we are squeezing tighter on the Bollinger Bands, breaking through the 21s. We'll see what happens on Disney. But I'm definitely watching Disney. I'm watching Boeing to see if Boeing comes back down to earth a bit here to the 21 EMA around 222, 225. Somewhere in this area where we stayed in this range for such a long time. Now, this range was about a 25 to 30 point range, which puts us up again around, when we broke through the range, would put us around 45 or so. We didn't quite get there before we flipped, but let's see if we come down and hold this level and make the next move higher. So I'm waiting on Boeing to do that. If it comes down anywhere in this 220, 222, and seems to start bouncing, I'll be selling leap puts on Boeing as well. Not a whole lot green today as you look through the charts here. Barely UNH, just fractionally positive on the day, but up again in after hours sessions. J&J up a little bit on the day. AbbVie up a little bit on the day. And something to keep an eye on is if we start to sell off, what happens with Bitcoin? Do we catch some strength here on Bitcoin if the markets start to drop or not? We are in this little channel here on the daily. So we're going to keep watching this channel. Nothing to do in Bitcoin until we break higher. Right now, we're going to have to break close to 30,000. If we can break that 30,000 mark or so over the next day or two, then maybe you've got a chance to get some longer Bitcoin or make a good Bitcoin trade in here. You got MACD reversing on the daily. RSI was climbing, obviously dropped off today. Let's see what happens with RSI. Can it turn back up above the 50? And can we get MACD positive to maybe get long some Bitcoin in here? You could also be looking at coin as well. It's not looking like it's reversing. So when we're talking Bitcoin, MACD is starting to trend higher. When we're looking at coin, we have got earnings coming out on the 3rd after the market tomorrow. We'll see what happens with coin. Nice pullback to the 21, maybe even the 50. You've got some support areas in here without getting too crazy. Maybe if we drew something in this time frame in here, I think this is what we're looking at. So do we come back here around this 85, 86 level and bounce higher? Obviously, a lot is going to have to do with earnings tomorrow. So there's where we are on the markets. We're in no man's land. The biggest winner on the day was VIX, up a whopping 2 points, a little over 2 points, and 15% on the VIX. Crazy. So volatility went up. Now, obviously, as a theta trader and a premium seller, volatility rising, good for selling, not great for the positions that we've already sold, because you get the market dropping and you've got volatility rising. So you kind of get a little bit of a double whammy in there. However, moving forward, if we can catch some more volatility back in this market, it's going to give us some more premium. And as premium sellers, that's what we're looking for. So a little bit of a beating today due to a 15% rise in volatility, coupled with a decent selling on SPX and SPY down about 60 some odd points today. So there's where we are when we're looking at the markets. Let's take a look at what we're doing in the accounts. So here on the account today, in the main trading account for Income Navigator, today, with the drop, our deltas rocketed it up to 449, 0.16, still within the 0.2 range. Getting a little high, though. So I don't want to see this delta getting too much more out of control. We'll keep an eye on this delta. But our deltas are up. We're going to have to get some negative delta in if the market continues to drop. We definitely want to get some more negative delta on. We have some hedges, but we might have to either get rid of some long delta trades or add short delta trades. We'll see what happens. Theta did bump up 909, so 0.32, some of the best theta we've had in a while. Net lick dropped about $5,000 today on our net lick. We didn't close anything negative. We didn't take any losses on any trades. In fact, we gained $1,100 on trades today. But the increase in volatility is really what caused a lot of the short puts that we have to gain in price today, which caused us to lose a little bit of money. Buying power jumped up to about 62. So now we're starting to get to a buying power that's a little high, and we're probably going to look to take some stuff off, depending on what the market does tomorrow. Not going to panic, not going to do anything. What we did do today was we did our weekly gold and ES strangle trades. I'm going to show you those in just a minute. So we took those off, made $1,100 on the day. So while the market's dropping and everybody's net lick is dropping and struggling out there, we're making $1,100 in cash realized on the day. So we're up $1,100 now on the month after 2 trading sessions. And let's take a look at how that happened. We had an ES strangle that we put on July 12th. We took that off today. 21 days in trade, only $200. It was our least, I should say, our most profitable of the 4 strangles that we had on. So we're going to take that strangle off. So the most profitable strangles come off each week, and we put a new one on. On gold, though, different story. Gold's really been what's bailing us out. ES been pushing these calls, which has caused some problems on the amount of money we've been taking in. But gold's been making up for that by closing at well over 50, 60% in most cases. Today, we closed the gold strangle for a 58% winner, 11, almost 12% on return on capital. So overall today, took in $1,100 on the day. We're off and running for August. We had a fantastic July. If we look at the July trades, 19,788, a 7.1% return in July. We're back in August. It's usually a tougher month. we're going for our 3% wins, and let's see what happens on that. So there's where we ended up for the day. Again, down day in the market. Down day net lick wise, but a good day trading wise. Made $1,100 on the day. So we'll keep moving on, and we'll see you guys in the next trading session. Happy trading. Bye-bye.